They taped and wrapped all of our hands behind our backs. They put tape on everybody's mouth. I was crying so much that the tape literally wouldn't stick to my mouth, so they told me just shut the fuck up. They forced all of us downstairs into the basement, where they then searched the entire house for guns, for drugs, for money, for whatever they were looking for. They had us walk into the living room and they had us all lay on the floor. So they had me lay with my head this way. They had my brother lay with his head this way, and they had my mom lay with her head this way. So all of our feet were touching, but we were all faced away from each other. Like, thank God this is over. And instead, he said, I'm so sorry I have to do this to you guys. I'm never going to know if you know who I am. I'm so sorry. And when I turned around, I seen the...
Pull up on your thought, she gone, I'ma call that girl still. Then she gave me top and I ain't call it girl still. But I'm still...
We still Hustle Daily. What's going on, Hustle Nation? Welcome back to another video. It's your boy Big Play Ray coming to y'all with another video today. Make sure y'all smash that like button. My hand's ashy. If y'all see me doing this and doing this, hey, I broke my wrist a while ago, so don't think I'm retarded. All right, I'm about to be bending that motherfucker because the doctors say that shoe is behind. It's been 5 months, boy. You need to start bending that thing a little more. Welcome back to a video. Make sure y'all follow me on Instagram at the top of the screen. Make sure y'all like the video. I told y'all that already. Okay, story time. I lost my brother in a home invasion 13 years ago. He took a piece of me with him forever. This was in, okay, then she got a little video of them together, June 2nd, 2022. Gotta love those old school, like, little videos, man. I guess this is his brother right here. Those family old videos, man. This type of stuff right here is priceless. It says every day is Dre Day. Okay, so let's go, and I guess this is her here. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the story time.
Somebody commented on the video I posted of my brother, home invasion, where they caught. So this is the story of what happened to my brother and how I lost my brother. It was October 18, 2011. Like I said, a little over 13 years ago. I was 14 years old at the time. My brother was 15. It was about 7:40, 7:50 in the morning. I was a freshman in high school. My brother was a sophomore. I was leaving to go to school, and my brother was running late. He was just getting out the shower. I told my brother I was leaving. I wasn't going to wait for him. And I walked to the front door to leave my house. When I opened the door, there were two men masked up with guns already in my face, forced me back into my house.
Damn. I don't know if she just like walked out and seen it, but hey, let's look at through our peepholes from now on before we walk out the door. Let's all do this together. You know what I'm talking about?
When they forced me back into my house, I was really confused at the time, and I thought it was somebody playing for some reason. I don't fucking know. I look back and I'm like, how did you not realize what was happening in the moment? And really quick disclaimer, it has been 13 years, so I have told this story many times, and I've healed a lot, so I'm able to actually talk about it, because yeah, years ago there's no way I would have been able to answer this question or even tell this story to a bunch of strangers. So they forced me back in the house. My brother, like I said, was just getting out of the shower. He had a towel wrapped around his waist. They immediately made both of us lay on the floor, and were basically just telling us to shut the fuck up. They asked us if anybody else was in the house. We didn't answer, and they were yelling at us. Our dog was barking like crazy. It was a lot going on. The apartment that we lived in, we had our main floor, which was the floor we were on, and we had a basement that was like an entire little apartment on there, and that's where my mom and her man of 13 years, basically, that's where they stood. My mom basically woke up and didn't know what was happening, because she had just, woken up out of her sleep. So she was coming up the stairs like, what the fuck? Why are you guys being so fucking loud? Thinking it was me and my brother arguing or fighting, as always. It was very normal in our house to be fucking yelling. So her not knowing that it was them, she walked herself right into the same situation that we were in. They taped and wrapped all of our hands behind our backs. They put tape on everybody's mouth. I was crying so much that the tape literally wouldn't stick to my mouth. So they told me, just shut the fuck up and we won't put the tape on your mouth, because I was crying and screaming hysterically, and they just kept telling me, shut the fuck up. Our dog was going crazy. We had a husky named Jackie at the time, and they threatened to shoot her if she didn't stop. So we told her to go to the kitchen. Fast forward a little bit, they asked if anybody else was in the house, and nobody was. It was just me, my mom, and my brother. They forced all of us downstairs into the basement, where they then searched the entire house for guns, for drugs, for money, for whatever they were looking for. This lasted for about an hour of them looking for stuff, finding stuff. As they found things that they wanted, TVs, my brother's Xbox games, all kind of things. One would stay inside of the house and watch us, and the other one would go out the back door and take it to whatever was waiting out there, which we'll get to that part. And then they'd come back, the person would come back in, and they kept doing that, taking stuff, taking turns. We did find out it was a younger guy and an older guy, so just for reference, the younger guy would stay in and watch us, and the older guy would take stuff out. They kept looking for a gun. That's what they were looking for. They kept looking for a gun, looking for a gun, looking for a gun. They couldn't find a gun. They finally found a gun, and when they found this gun, everything kind of turned for the worse. When the older guy was outside, the younger guy kept telling me, stop crying, we're not going to hurt you. We're not going to hurt you guys. We just want what's here, and we're going to leave. That's the plan. We're not going to hurt you guys, so stop crying. We're not going to hurt you. And I remember crying hysterically, and my brother looking at me like get your shit together. Mind y'all, my brother was only 15 at the time, so for him to even have this mentality, like he had it all together. I as a 27-year-old woman now, I look back and I'm like, my brother had so much fucking heart, because I was losing it. So again, they found this gun, everything turned for the worse. It went from just like grabbing shit and taking shit to like the older guy was just like tearing up the whole basement while we were in there. Like it was physically getting violent inside of the room. The energy completely shifted. At that point, they took everything that they wanted to take. In the basement, there was like a sala or a living room. And there was my mom's bedroom. They had us walk into the living room, and they had us all lay on the floor. So they had me lay with my head this way. They had my brother lay with his head this way, and they had my mom lay with her head this way. So all of our feet were touching, but we were all faced away from each other. And when they had us lay on the floor, I remember praying to God and saying, thank God this is over. Like, thank God this is over. And instead, he said, I'm so sorry I have to do this to you guys. I'm never going to know if you know who I am. I'm so sorry. And he starts shooting, and he shoots 6 times. My body is trembling. I don't know if you've ever heard gunshots, and especially to that degree, that up close to you, but my body's trembling because I'm like, what the fuck? We're about to die. We're about to die. Just take the shit and leave. But we're going to die over this stupid shit. And so they shoot, and they run out. They run right out the back door. And in the basement, we had my mom's bedroom door. We had the laundry room door. We had another outside door. And then we had the outside back door. So there were 4 doors. So I laid there. And as I was trembling and shaking, I laid there and I waited for to hear each door. Because there was like a creak to each door. So you knew. So I waited for each door until I heard that last door. And when I heard that last door shut, I turned around like I was so fucking relieved that they didn't shoot us. I was so fucking relieved. And when I turned around, I seen nothing but fucking blood. I seen blood all over. When I turned around, my brother was shot in the fucking head. My mom was shot in the fucking head. And I was sitting there like, what the fuck? I started yelling, screaming. It was fucking chaotic. It was fucking chaotic. Mind y'all, I'm 14 years old. I'm a fucking baby when we look back at it. I'm 27 today. I was 14. I was a fucking baby. I had no idea what to do. I was screaming and yelling, but I kicked into action. I didn't have a phone because my mom took my phone away, and he took both my mom and my brother's phones. So I found my phone in a little spot that my mom had put it away in, ran upstairs to charge it. We're talking 2011, so these phones take 10 minutes to turn on. I put it on the charger upstairs. Meanwhile, my mom and my brother are downstairs shot in their fucking heads. At the time, we lived across the street from a school, and it was also a church. But in the daytime, it was a school. Mind you, at this time, it's about 8, I don't know, almost 9 o'clock. So I run outside because there's a million families lined up outside. There's a million people to help. And I'm screaming, yelling. My family just got shot inside. My mom and my brother just got shot inside. Can somebody please call the police? Everybody's like this. Hands up. Hands up. I'm like, please, can somebody help me? Can somebody please call the police? My family is inside. They just got shot. I need help. I need help. I don't have a phone. And everybody is fucking silent. Nobody's saying anything. Everybody's like they can't help. So I run back inside, and finally my fucking phone is turning on.
Dang, bro, this story is crazy. We about to hear more. I don't know why. Did they miss her? Like, because it sounded like they wanted to kill everybody, but they did not kill her for some reason. And that's crazy, bro. Like, all because a gun? I don't know what they was looking for. I don't know who had something to do with something. We still missing a character, which is the stepdad. I think she said the mom and the stepdad was living there. So let's get more into the story. But man, like, bro, you can't even imagine, bro. Shit, man, that's crazy.
First and foremost, I just want to say thank you to everybody for your kind words, for your condolences. I've seen most of it. I've tried to respond to everything that I could. Thank you. I appreciate it. To anybody that has responded anything negative, anything condescending, I'm not going to feed into it. I've lived this life. This is my story to tell, and I know it's real.
Damn, they saying her story fake. Come on, bro. She didn't. These people be them comments crazy.
And before I even get into part 2, just to clear the air, this had nothing to do with my brother. Nothing to do with my brother.
Okay.
My brother was completely innocent. It had nothing to do with him.
Okay.
So as I was saying, I went back into my house. My phone was just turning on. Immediately, of course, I called the police. They walked me through how to...
Hold on, y'all. That goddamn music she playing back there, it's gonna goddamn mess my video up.
Help my family until the ambulance came, and they told me to apply pressure. Immediately after calling the police, I called my grandma, my mother's mother, because I knew I was gonna need her. Sure. I ran back downstairs to the basement to apply pressure to the areas that they were shot, as the police let me know, or I'm sorry, the paramedics let me know on the phone. When I went downstairs, the sounds that I heard it's one of those things you just can never unhear. I don't even really know what exactly it was or what would make somebody sound like this, but the way they were breathing, and they were not in sync, so they were breathing so fucking loud. It just sounded like they were like
Alright, I gotta pause it just a little bit, y'all. This shit. I'm gonna probably have to play some music over this a little bit on this part.
Gargling, or almost just like choking on their own breath, like they couldn't breathe. And yeah. So I did everything I could. Like I said, I won't get too into detail. I was yelling at God though, just know that. I kept taking turns, applying pressure on both my mom and my brother. And again, I did what I could. I don't know, probably like 5 minutes later, the police showed up. When they came in, for whatever reason, I thought that it was the people that just did this. And I was yelling at the police. They're like, no, you're safe. It's just the police. And immediately they took me out. They brought the paramedics in, and they started to get my mom and my brother so they can take them out. I remember sitting upstairs on my front porch, and they were asking me a lot of questions, and I couldn't answer. My body was in such a shock state that I was literally like my body couldn't stop shaking. And I'll never forget, I wish I knew her name, but it was a female officer, and she came and basically shut everybody down. Leave her alone. Give her a second, let her breathe. That's her mother, that's her brother, let her breathe.
For sure.
And I remember watching them take my brother and my mom out on whatever those fucking things are called and putting them in the ambulance.
Stretcher.
I went in the back of the police car because, of course, I'm the only breathing, well victim to testify or tell my story. I remember one of the main things they kept asking me when I was on the porch was, do you know who these people are? Did you know who these people are? And I kept saying no, because I didn't. And what I realized was I didn't realize who they were because my mind was in a fight or flight, scared type of state. I seriously didn't know who they were in that moment. I remember it was 2 male officers driving, and I said, I know who it is. I know who one of the guys is.
Oh, shit.
And they both just turned around, and I'm like, his name is Sean. I don't know his last name, but his name is Sean. His girl's name is Jenny.
Oh,
and
shit.
They were like, okay, let's talk when we get to the police station.
Damn.
And so we got to the station, and I was in that station from 9-ish something in the morning until about 8 p.m. that night.
For sure.
So just for reference, my mom and my brother are fighting for their fucking lives at the hospital, and I was at the police station for...
Oh, I don't know why I thought they died on impact. Hold on. Oh, it's only about... I'm sorry to keep pausing it, but I got to because that fucking music. And are y'all going to have to hear some music over this? But, she said I lost my brother. She ain't say I lost my mom. I'm thinking they died on impact.
12 hours. I was questioned by, I lost count of how many different police officers and detectives. The same questions over and over and over and over. All of my family was at the hospital, and one of the first people that showed up was my uncle's wife, and she stayed with me for the remainder of the time that I was there.
I hope they sent Sean and Jenny, well, not Jenny, I guess, but Sean ass to jail. Unless Jenny had something to do with it, too.
As they kept questioning me, I kept checking in. I need updates on my mom and my brother, what's going on with them. And they kept telling me that they were fighting, that they were still alive, that they were fighting, that they were still alive, and they were good. My grandmother came, my father's mother came, and I don't remember who she came with, but I remember her talking to one of the detectives, and she didn't know what I knew yet, but I remember the detective saying, like, how's your grandson doing? And I remember hearing her just choked up saying, I just lost my baby. I just lost my grandson. Oh. And when I heard my grandma say that, that was what confirmed that I actually lost my brother, because everybody kept telling me he was okay. Everybody kept saying, like, no, they're good, they're fighting. And I lost it. I lost it inside of the police station. Everybody was trying to calm me down. I lost it. And to be very transparent and vulnerable, I had many suicidal thoughts immediately. I was never that type. I was never the type to, like, even thinking about doing anything to myself. But immediately, I'm like, my brother didn't make it. I'm out. Like, what the fuck is the point of life? I'm out. Damn. And I remember my grandma holding me and hugging me and saying, look, baby girl, look. Your mom is fighting still. She's fighting. She needs you. She needs you. And when she wakes up, she can't hear that both her babies are gone, because she's going to wake up.
Damn.
And I just remember thinking, what the fuck is this? Is this wake me up from this dream, from this nightmare? This is the fucking, like, shit like this only happens in movies. What the fuck is happening? And I remember, man, I don't know how many detectives questioned me, but I remember that last detective that questioned me, and it was right after I found out that my brother died, and I lost my shit. First and foremost, again, I want to continue to say thank you to everybody, not only in the comments that are sending me nothing but love and very kind, sweet words, but people that are messaging me directly. Y'all gotta realize this is something really, really heavy that happened to me, yes, many years ago, but this is a story some of my even closest people don't know any details about. So again, to all the people that are like rushing for part 3, part this, I am fitting this also into my regular day-to-day life. And it's been 13 years. I think I have every right to take the fucking time to tell my story. If you don't want to wait, keep scrolling. But for those that are here to hear my story, I appreciate you. I never thought that this would go up the way that it did. But I'm honestly glad that if anything on my page ever did, it's our story, because truly, I always said the shit that we've gone through, it really is shit that you only see in movies, or at least you think it only happens in movies. And unfortunately, we had to be the people that experience such a traumatic fucking occasion in real life. So like I was saying, I found out that my brother died when I was still at the police station. Following up on that, there's so many questions that people have. Is your mom okay? What happened to the dog? Did the people get caught? Yada yada. My mom was in a coma for almost 2 weeks after she got shot. My mom did not make it to my brother's funeral. There was other people in the comments too saying, oh, did her dad have something to do with it? My dad had nothing to do with it. My dad was alive at the time. He was actually in prison, and he was just getting out a week later. So much so that since we knew my mom was not going to be able to make it to my brother's funeral, we kind of pushed the funeral, and I was like, I need my dad there. We need to wait for him. So my dad got out of prison. Literally a week later, we went and drove to Vandalia, Illinois. If you know, you know. We went and drove and picked him up, and he did make it to my brother's funeral. My brother's funeral brought the whole fucking city out. Like, it was overwhelming. I even look back and I'm like, damn, it was a lot. It was a lot. It was Jenny. We did know these people. These people were around us. So I can't say that they were friends of my mom and her boyfriend, but they were definitely well-known acquaintances. They weren't people that would come over all the time, but from time to time for a barbecue, for a birthday, we would see them. They were a couple. Jenny and Sean, they were a couple. There's still a lot of unanswered questions I still have.
They send their ass to jail.
One thing I do know, and one thing I do want to clear up in the comments, there's a lot of people saying her mom's boyfriend set it up. It definitely had to be her mom's boyfriend. I do want to clear the air, and I feel like there's so many reasons why I haven't told this story for so long, and I feel like it's because I've always tried to spare people's names and things like that. But I do want to say my mom's boyfriend did not set this up. My mom's boyfriend was like a second father to us our entire lives, or at least when we were like 4 and 5 and up. He was like a second father to us, and he did not set this up. He would have never done that. What I can say though is they did come for him. That what they did, that was meant for him. It wasn't meant for us. Everybody's asking, why wasn't he there? Where was he? Was he in the basement hiding? He was not there. He was at work. He starts work at 5 in the morning every day. I don't know what he does now, but at that time, he started work at 5 in the morning every day. So he was not there. A lot of people are also asking me, why did they shoot your mom and your brother? Why didn't they shoot you? Baby, you have the same fucking questions that I have. I still don't know to this day. We always say like we counted the shots. It was 6 shots. There were for sure 6 bullets there. They shot my mom twice in her head. One of the pieces of the bullet is still in her head to this day. They also shot my brother twice. And I always say 2 of them were meant for me. Whether they purposely miss or they actually missed. I still can't answer that. I don't know the information to that, and it drives me fucking crazy to this day. So some of you guys,
wouldn't forensics be able to, like, you know, figure out where stuff, because y'all know when guns are shot, right, there's like a little residue, like little dust that comes from the casing, from the bullet, right? So like, I don't know if they didn't do too much of you know, forensics, but like you should be able to see, like, okay, boom, like where was this gun shot? She said this was a while ago. I think we was kind of advanced by then, right? But like 13 years ago, like where you can see like where the bullet, you should be, I thought you could, shit, they figure everything else out. So like, where did they shoot the bullets? Was there intentionally not for her, or what the case is?
some of you guys are asking questions I don't know the answer to. I did have to do a series of events after this occasion. I did have to do a lineup. I did have to do a sound lineup. They actually did the sound lineup before I actually did like the, I don't know what it's called, but when you actually see them, I did do the sound lineup first, and they played like, they had like 8 different men say something. They had them say something violent. I don't remember what it was, but it was maybe something like get down and fucking close your eyes or some shit like that. And that last one, he kind of like like cleared his throat, and when he said it, I'm like, that's him. And it was actually the younger guy. And I knew what he sounded like because he kept talking to me. He kept trying to assure me that he was young too and he did not want to do anything to us. So again, I did have to do a lineup. I did have to testify. I did have to do a lot of things following this case. They are all sentenced today. Sean Williams is the actual person that shot my mom and my brother. He was the one that I also said was the older guy that was going out while the younger guy stayed inside. Sean Williams was sentenced 50 to life, I believe. Devontae Williams was the younger guy. He did not do the shooting. He has less years. I want to say it's somewhere like 40 to 45 years. And Jennifer Williams, or Jennifer Vajoniavac, whatever her last name is, we knew her as Jenny.
Oh shit, I got her too.
That's an evil ass bitch.
She the one who, she probably the mastermind behind this shit. How many years y'all gave her ass?
Evil soul right there. I mean, they all are. But that lady, my mom helped that lady. That lady used to get beat up by Sean Williams, and she used to come to her house, and my mom would feed her and give her new clothes after Sean fucking damaged all her stuff. And you know what? It was a lesson to be learned. I learned a lot through this life experience of mine.
For sure.
I am everything but what my household was growing up. I am the person, no, not everybody is allowed at my household. No, you cannot know where I live. No, I'm not friends with everybody. No, I don't got shit for you. And it's because I learned firsthand that you can help somebody. You can literally give them the shirt off of your back and they will come and take yours because they're greedy. And greed is the ugliest, most evil thing in this world. People are also asking me, how did they know a gun was in there? Again, I still have questions I never got answered either. I don't know if the fucking gun was his, was my mom's boyfriend's. I don't know what the fuck it was. But it wasn't just a gun that they came for. They came for weed, money, the guns, whatever they were looking for. I don't know all the details about that. I just know what I know.
Okay.
And then for reference to, while Devontae was holding us hostage inside, and Sean would go to the back. Where he was going to the alley where Jenny was parked inside of the car.
Oh shit.
And he was putting all of her things in there. The way they got caught is there was 2 city workers. I know one was a sanitation worker and another one, I don't remember maybe a tow truck driver, but it was 2 city workers. I don't want to say their names. One of their names we did release before, and we did actually gift him money or like a check at that time. Okay. But I don't want to say their names because this is so many years later, and I don't want to involve anybody that doesn't want to be involved unless they were to message me directly. But they did, they were at the end of the alley, and they noticed these people or Sean masked up and kept going back to the car. And so they started watching, like, what's up with that car down the alley, and what the fuck is he doing?
Damn,
and so when I called the police, of course they put it out there. 2 masked up men, home invasion, they just shot in, and they just shot a family. So those those city workers, they were already watching, and they got that on their scanner. If you are watching this, thank you, because you've already probably watched a 3-part story to the worst day of my fucking life and what changed my life forever. I'm gonna keep saying thank you to everybody for your kind words. None of it goes unnoticed. There are quite a few people I haven't got a chance to respond to, but I see it, I appreciate it, I feel it. I've cried about it already. I talked to my mom about it already. I read quite a few of them to her already, and we both appreciate it, and we thank you all. I don't really want to call this like a part 4, because I really did already tell the story, but I do want to answer a lot of like frequent questions that I'm seeing, and just clear up a couple things. At the end of part 3, I did say that the city workers heard it on the scanner, and so to follow up on that, I want to let you guys know kind of what happened from there. So it basically came up on their scanner, and they followed that car from that alley to wherever they were at. I want to say they drove up north to the north side, and that's where they actually caught them. So they did follow them the entire time and had the police on the phone, like, hey, this is where they're at, and that's how they were able to locate them.
That's what's up.
When they located Sean, Jenny, and Devontae, they had all of our things in the car, including my brother's gold chain, including my mom and my brother's phones, my brother's Xbox, our TV, a bunch of shit, all of our shit that was from the house. They also, of course, were still wearing exactly what they just had in the house, so they were able to identify blood on them and things like that, all of those specific details. They were arrested immediately, and I do want to share something and somebody that I bumped into at the police station that I had no idea who it was. When I was at the police station, I remember going to the bathroom, and when I went to the bathroom, there was this girl that just kept staring at me, but I'm not thinking anything of it, and I didn't find out who she was until later on. And when she was staring at me, I remember her asking me, like, are you the one that your family got shot? And I'm like, yeah, not knowing that I should be shutting the fuck up at this moment. But I found out later that she is or was Devontae's girlfriend at the time. Also, another disclaimer, Jenny was pregnant at the time, so she did have her baby in jail. I don't know where her baby is now. I have no information about that, and as cold as it sounds, I truly don't care. A lot of people are asking me how my mom is, and kind of how, like, what happened to her after my brother died. Then what? My mom faced a severity of injuries after her shooting. Again, like I said, she was shot twice in her head. She was in a coma for almost 2 weeks after her shooting. And we did lots of physical therapy and there's so many details in between that she had to do in order to get where she's at today. There was a point where the doctors were letting us know, like, we don't know if she's going to recover much more than she is now, and she was in a vegetative state at that point. Me and my mom just talked about this the other day, and I cried about it because I'm like, Mom, I used to walk inside of the hospital room, even when she was at the rehab place after the hospital. I used to walk into the rehabilitation room, and my mom wouldn't even look towards me. So she had no type of, like, she didn't look anywhere. She didn't know if you were walking in the room. She was in a vegetative state, but alive. And how disheartening and heartbreaking that shit was every time I used to walk in there, because I'm like, Mom, I need you to wake the fuck up. I need you. And God bless my dad. My mom and my dad, they split when I was 2, so they've been broken up my whole life. It was very normal. That was my life. But they always had a good relationship after. And he would go in there and just be like, baby mama, get your ass up. Come on, sunshine. And we would just go in there and like open the blinds, let the sunshine in. And he always spoke life into my mom. But that shit broke my heart every time I used to walk in there and she didn't know I was there. I'm trying to keep my crying to a minimal because it's like, I just want to get our story out there. I don't need to do all the crying for everybody. So, So like I said, she did months of recovery and rehab and things like that. And there did come to a point where she had a track in her throat. I don't know exactly how to describe it, but if you know, you know. But she had a track in her throat, and she was trying to talk at this point. So this was when she was becoming more aware. She was at this point slowly starting to turn when people would come into her space. And we were realizing like, okay, she's coming back. And so with that track, she kept trying to say something one day, and God bless her nurse. I don't remember her name, but she was like, Crystal, what about if we give you something to write with? Do you think you could write with it? And my mom kind of just like, I don't remember if she nodded, but she said yes in some type of way. And the very first thing that she wrote was my brother's name. And the whole fucking room just went silent. Everybody just went silent. And what we realized was, even when we thought she wasn't there, she was still hearing. So she was hearing my voice every day. She was hearing my dad's voice every day. She was hearing everybody's voices every day. And she was probably wondering the entire time, where the fuck is my son? Why do I not hear Andre's voice? So my mom's very first communication when she got the chance, and this was, I don't remember the exact timeline, but this was like months later, was her writing my brother's name. She wrote Andre very, very faintly, and it was very messy, but we knew that it said Andre. Honestly, it's so many years back. I don't remember exactly, but I feel like we didn't tell her right away. I think we were saying like, I don't remember, to be honest. This is actually something I have to ask her, because I don't remember what she remembers. I don't remember. Actually, I lie. I take it back. My grandfather, her dad, I think was the one that told her. And I want to say I stepped out. I want to say everybody stepped out. And I want to say her dad was the one that told her Andre got hurt. And she wasn't trying to hear that shit. Like, she wasn't trying to hear that Andre got hurt shit. Like, where is he at, though? And they did let my mom know that my brother did not make it. And honestly, that's the story for her to tell. I can't really tell my mom's story. Like I said, she did a series of events of physical therapy, all of the therapies, all of the things. She was so stubborn during physical therapy, and she would be kind of rude to people. And I would be telling her, like, Mom, these people are trying to help you. Like, we trying to get you up out of here. We want to go home. Like, I'm tired of you being inside of this fucking rehab place. You need to come home. I need you home. So she started lightening up a little bit and realizing, like, these people really are just doing their jobs. They're not trying to purposely wake you up at 7 a.m. every day. They want to push you to your best. And they did. They helped my mom get to her best. She did have a plate put inside of her head. And that did help relieve a lot of the headaches and pain she was going through. And my mom did come home. I want to say it was like 6 months later. I think it was like at the end of January. I'm sorry, end of February. I don't know. I think it was like maybe 4, 5, 6 months later. I don't know. I don't really remember the details, but my mom did come home. And when she came home, she still needed a lot of assistance. She needed assistance with everything, absolutely everything. When she was still in the hospital and even the rehab place, they let us know, like, Crystal's life has changed forever, and I need you guys to start preparing for that. My mom's right side was shattered, and so that affected everything on the left side. Today, my mom can no longer see out of her left eye. Her left hand no longer works, and that includes her fingers. And her arm, her left arm. For a long time, they were saying that her left leg would never work and that she would never be able to walk. Today, God bless my mom, because she's came such a long way. She's came such a long way. My God, thank God. Today, my mom does walk with a brace on her left leg. and with a cane, and she does fucking walk, and she walks around and she talks shit to everybody. My mom never lost her like cognitive side of herself. So my mom still is herself. She still is that same Crystal. She still is that girl. And she still does talk shit. I'm gonna run out of time right now, so I'm gonna answer everything else I remember or that I can right now in this video. People are asking, because I completely forgot to say it, how many years Jenny got. I want to say Jenny got 24 years, and how much 24 of that she'll actually serve, I have no idea. And then, like I said about my mom as well, she does walk around now with her cane. She does require a wheelchair for like longer distances. My mom was never able to drive again. My mom would never be able to live completely by herself ever again. My mom does not cook anymore because she only has the one hand and her one eye. My mom's life changed completely outside of just the physical. A lot of the mental obviously changed, because prior to this, my mom was, and mom, if you watch this, my mom was a boss ass bitch. Like, my mom was that girl. She was very independent. My mom was the type, oh, it makes me want to cry. My mom was the type to get up very early in the morning, get the grill going, barbecue, open her Corona, light her cigarette, whole fucking house is clean, everybody's laundry is done. Like, she was that girl. She just was. And her life changed completely. She went from being completely independent to being dependent on somebody else. And what I will say is, from then to now, she has improved a lot, and I tell her this all the time. Back then, she wasn't able to do anything by herself. We would never leave her at home by herself, anything. Today, she sets up and makes her own coffee. She makes her own little oatmeal, her own little snacks. She rolls and gets her things to drink. She walks to the bathroom by herself. She does her little steps, so she gets her steps in and she walks back and forth throughout the house. So she has grown a lot, and she has come a really, really long way. And I cannot tell this story without giving an honorable mention to somebody that, has helped us in ways only God knows. I don't know what we would have did without her. My grandma, my mom's mom. God bless you, grandma. I know she's gonna watch this because that's my number one fan. She watches everything and anything that I do. This is a public message just to my grandma. God bless you, lady. And you get on my nerves and we go back and forth. But Lord himself knows where I would be right now if it wasn't for you.
Shout out to grandma.
When my whole life changed and everything came crashing before me, my grandma stepped up to the plate. My grandma did become like a second mom to me. My grandma did everything for me. I moved in with my grandma. My grandma took me to school. Again, I was a freshman in high school at that time. She took me to school. She took me to do everything that I had to do. My grandma was there when I got my driver's license, my first ID, fucking everything. She helped me open my first bank account. My grandma did everything for me. Today my grandma is still alive, thank God. She is still here, and my grandma is who takes care of my mom. And she has since it all happened. And if you know, you know. Gail, she don't play about us. Gail is my grandma. Grandma, I love you, lady. If God ever blesses me with a way, there's nothing in this world that you can't have. I love you so much. Wow, I feel like talking about the actual event itself, I'm able to get through. It's a lot of the side things that is really hard to like wrap my emotions around, because it's all just so heavy. A lot of people are also asking, what's the relationship like with my mom's ex-boyfriend? I'm only gonna speak for myself because it's not my story to tell for anybody else. I have no hate in my blood for him, but I don't have like a personal relationship with him anymore. A lot of people also in the comments are saying, I hope you got therapy. Where's your mental at today? And it's crazy because when you hear a story like this, you're like, for sure she went to therapy. No, I never went to therapy. And I look back at it today. Now I'm a grown woman and I'm so open to therapy, and I plan on going soon, guys. And I'll tell you why. The only reason I feel like I want to go today and at this day and age and time is truly for my son. I see so many things that, like, the rage in me sometimes, or like the lack of patience that I have, and it probably comes from that. But I can say, with no therapy, with no fucking medication, none of that shit. I didn't do none of that shit. I turned out all right, y'all. I really did. Sometimes I look back and I'm like, bitch, you done been through some shit. And you turned out all right, for real. But that's not to say I don't want to go to therapy, because I do want to go. I think it will benefit me in ways that I wasn't able to, like, really heal myself in. But I this is all me right here. This is all me. And not only me, I can't say that. This is me, this is God, and this is my support system. I was raised by a beautiful mother, by a very, very strong, beautiful father. My brother plays so much into who I am. I'm so much of him, and I look back and I'm like, he used to call me lame and he used to laugh at me, but like, I'm you. I'm really you. Like, you really was him and I'm really you, you know? And of course, like I said, both of my beautiful grandmothers, my aunts and my uncles, the closest family to me. I couldn't have did this shit without them, for real. It was off saying thank you a million times. Just thank you, first off. As many questions as I felt like I answered, it seems like there's still a lot of the same questions being asked, so I'm just gonna answer those. No, Jackie, my husky at the time, she was not hurt. She did stay with a close family friend of ours after the incident, and she was not hurt in that incident. A lot of people are asking me about my mom's boyfriend at the time. Again, that is a story that my mom can share if she wants to. Yes, he was there during her recovery and all of that. I didn't mean to make it seem like he wasn't. Again, that's just not my story to tell. People are asking me if he's still in my life. Like I said, I don't have a close personal relationship with him anymore. I wish him nothing but the best. And yes, he still does communicate with my mom. A lot of people are asking me what my life looked like in school afterwards. Did I go back to school? Did I stay out of school that year? I did go back to school. I want to say it was like 3 weeks after everything happened. I am and have always been the type to work through my pain or my struggles. I'm really big on, if I sit around, I will drown in my misery, and hence the reason I'm always at work during these videos. So I did go back to school. Me and my brother, we went to Schurz High School in Chicago at that time. And shout out to Schurz, because when I did finally make it back to school, huge moment of silence for my brother when I came back from my first day. And there was a main floor, like when you first walked in. Schurz is a big ass high school. If you know, you know. Down that entire hallway on both sides, they had all the students, right? Like, rest in peace, Dre. We love you, Raina. We're praying for you, Crystal. So our high school definitely showed out. We were all over the fucking news. So our neighborhood and everybody that was around, they definitely knew what happened, and they definitely showed love to my family. A lot of people are asking me like where my mental is at today. Like I said, I think I turned out all right. People are asking me if I ever dealt with PTSD. That's a whole nother story in itself. After everything happened, I can't even remember when this stopped, but for the longest, I could not go to sleep if everybody in the house was already sleeping. Like, somebody had to physically watch me go to sleep, and then I was able to go to sleep, or I would just break night and stay up all night. So shout out to those people. I kind of want to skip over that journey or all of that, because my PTSD was really fucking bad. I was over paranoid. I mean, there's like ways that I felt that I feel like I can't even put into words. I can tell you where I'm at today though. Sometimes I think I've came so far, and I have. But sometimes I realize that in moments of vulnerability, I realize that PTSD just shining out of me. And what I mean is, like, I don't know, probably about like 2-3 weeks ago, I parked probably like a block from my house, and I was annoyed with my man, so I did not ask him as I usually would, like, walk downstairs, watch me walk in. And shout out to my man, because he knows, like, he knows. He just knows. If it's dark, if it's late, if it's whatever the fuck, if I got too many things to carry, he gonna come downstairs. He knows not to leave me in moments of vulnerability. But that day I was being very stubborn, and I only parked 1 block away. It wasn't even that late. It was probably like 7 o'clock, but it was already dark outside. And I ran like there was somebody fucking chasing me. And when I got to my house, I walked upstairs, and what makes me want to cry, but I immediately broke down. And my man is like, what's wrong? And I'm like, I'm just so fucking tired of living like this. Like, this is not normal. Like, people shouldn't always have to feel like there's somebody behind the back. It makes me so fucking mad, because I think about myself when I was younger. And yes, while I was naive and sometimes even stupid, making just stupid decisions. And yes, you should be aware of your surroundings. I felt so free. I felt so free. And to be honest, I've not felt like that in so long. I don't feel free. I always feel like I have to look over my shoulder. And again, yes, you should be aware, but I'm hyper aware. Like, it's too much. My man could get out the car and be pumping the gas, and I'm already locking the door. And sometimes he gets so upset, like, I'm right here, and I'm like, you don't get it. Like, you don't get it. So yes, to answer you guys' question, I dealt with really, really bad PTSD for a long time, and I still do, just in different ways. Like I said, I think I've came a long way. What really forced me to really shake that whole not being able to be alone thing was having my son and getting our first apartment. And when I got my first apartment with my son, I remember thinking, like, there's nobody here to save you. You got to save him if anything happens. So I had to put my big girl pants on and just, like, yeah, rock through it. And I remember in that first apartment, man, when we used to go to sleep, before I went to sleep, I would put shit by my front door, by my back door, by my windows, so that in the event that if somebody was breaking in, I would hear this shit. Like, I was doing a lot, man. It helped me grow though. And that's what I've learned the most throughout this journey is you can't grow through shit until you go through it. And that's what I'm doing every single day. So that's kind of where I'm at. People are also asking me too, if I name my son after my brother. My son's name is Santana, and his middle name is Dre, of course, after my brother. That was a given for me. I always knew that if I had a son, he would have my brother's name inside of his name. I never wanted to replace my brother, so that's the reason I never named him completely after my brother. Like, I didn't want to just name him Andre, because that's my brother. Like, that was my brother's life. That's how I feel, you know. But his name is Santana Dre, and he is very he represents his Theo. He represents his uncle. He is very much him. He looks like him. He acts like him. He's freaking annoying like him. He is his uncle. I also wanted to address, there was quite a few people telling me I should make a GoFundMe. They want to support me. They want to send me and my mom like just money for love and things like that. And I'll be honest, I'm not in the best place financially. I'm praying every day to God about it, to change my situation. And I'll be real, because of that, I did go and make the GoFundMe, or I attempted to. I started to, and nothing in my heart made it. It just didn't feel right. It didn't feel right in my heart to do it. So I just want to tell those people, I appreciate you. I get what you were trying to do. I pray every day that God will bless me in another way. And I know there's other people that need it more than I do. So yes, I just wanted to address that. I thank you guys. I appreciate you. It just didn't feel right in my soul to do that. Outside of that, I think I answered everything. I feel much lighter after sharing my story with everybody. I really do. I feel like I got a lot off my chest. And I really truly do feel happy about getting our story out there. I have pushed through all of these years as if the shit that we've gone through was normal, and it's not fucking normal. It wasn't normal. It wasn't light. I feel like I've normalized my life so much that sometimes I tell people the story and they're looking at me like, girl, are you okay? And I'm just like, that's just my life, you know. And I just want to pat myself on the back, because there's a lot of people that would have folded over this shit, you know. There's a lot of people it would have made their heart ugly, and I'm here to say it didn't make me ugly. It made me stronger. It also made me weaker. It made me grow more empathy for people. I feel much stronger for people. I'm never the type to judge somebody's pain and say your pain is not your pain is not important enough because my pain is stronger, or my struggle was stronger. I'm so empathetic with people. I'm so understanding. I'm so helpful. When I see somebody needing help, I'm stopping what I'm doing to help them, and I do that shit for no show. I do it just out of the kindness of my heart, because there was a time that I needed help and nobody helped me. So this is just to say, if you're in a time right now where you're like, what the fuck, I deserve better, I'm praying for more, I hope that you get that. I pray that you get that.
All right, God bless her and her family, man. What a traumatic experience, especially it was like a movie. You feel me? I felt like it was a movie when she was telling the story. Um, Man, 6 bullets, 2 shot her brother, 2 shot her mom, and we don't know what happened to the other 2. But you know, it's clear that God wanted her here for a reason. May her brother rest in peace. Cause I was wondering, like, when I first started the story, I was like, damn. I just thought it was over once them 2 shots. You know, when you think about a bullet hitting the head, you just automatically think like, okay, damn. The mom passed away and the brother passed away, but that wasn't the case. Mom is alive. Shout out to grandma, you feel me? Shout out to Grandmeezy, you feel me? And hey, I wish nothing but the best for her and her family, man. God bless her and her family. You know what I'm saying? She says she got a boy now. You know what I'm saying? That's God's gift, you know, to her. You know what I mean? And man, this was a crazy story. Appreciate y'all though for tuning in and rocking with me, man. Love y'all. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. I really do appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with me, man. Y'all could be here anywhere else in the world, but you here, and I appreciate you. And y'all know I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one, man. I'm probably gonna release this one. I'm gonna release another one at 6:55 Eastern Standard Time. So make sure y'all tap in. You feel me? Releasing 3 videos a day. It's your boy Ray, Big Plate. Peace.